You came back. I knew you would. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Isn't my Christmas tree so pretty? I got it off of Pinterest. It's like this winter wonderland theme and I'm so in love with it. Oh my god. I hope Santa's good to me this year. I'm Santa, so I'm gonna be good to me this year. Today's look is going to be on this eye look. Look at that, look at that. This theme, I got inspired by Demi Lovato. I was just scrolling through her Instagram and I came across this really rad and like sexy and edgy look and I was like, oh shit, I need to recreate this. She had the big hoops, she had the round the way girl hairstyle, this denim jacket, so I was like, you know what, let's do it. If you want to know how I did this look, please stay tuned. Coming up. Okay, to start off, I like to do my brows first before I do anything else, because once I start putting on product on my face, and this is just a personal choice, it starts to feel a little slippery, and so when I'm working with the product, it's more like a tug of war, like ice skates, and you don't know how to ice skate. So in order for the product to grip, I usually do my brows first and then I go into skincare. So what I like to do is comb down my brows first to get a general idea of where my line starts from the inner corner to about the middle. And then I have like a weird shape arch, so I have like this little hockey puck thing going on, so I need to know where I'm gonna arch it. So I comb my brows down first. I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in soft brown. And so what I'm gonna do is take it on an angle and then just go brushing in like hair-like strokes so it can mimic my hair on the brow all the way up until I get to about there. Then since this is already like on an angle, if you can see, I like to take it on the flat side and just kind of line it up a bit, putting more pressure towards the end. And then I'm just gonna fill in that gap that's right there, that annoying gap, and end just a little past where my actual brow ends. Then I take my spoolie and I brush them up and do the same thing towards the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and angle it, mimic the hairs, going up, going at an angle, whichever way your brows go. Kind of fill in the gaps that are inside. And then go ahead and start, not so much at the corner, but more towards like about a quarter in, not so much at the start. Draw the line. It's right there, and then connect with the end. To be quite honest, you're gonna look like one of the Marx brothers to begin with. We're gonna clean that all up with concealer later on. Okay, so right now I look super crazy, and I promise you that my eyebrows are not sisters. They are not twins. They are first cousins. Okay, I have two completely different eyebrows, and I try to get them as close to the same thing as possible, but honey, it is what it is. So let's jump right in to skincare. So in the winter, I have super duper dry skin, so I like to extra moisturize and extra prime because my skin, it needs a paternity test, for real. To start off, I'm gonna use the NYX Hydra Touch Hydration Primer Base. Go in, it's really cool, and oh, it feels amazing. Next, I go in with the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. I don't know if you could see it. And this is really oily, so I usually I'll take a couple of drops and 1, 2, 1, 2. That should be enough for my whole entire face, because I have like T-zone areas, so I don't usually put it around my nose. So next I'm gonna go in with the Farsali Unicorn Essence, which acts as a primer. So I'm double priming with moisturizer. And this one can do a healthy coat. you don't love me. Oh, you don't love me. Put a little on my lips, on my eyes. Be careful, because I tried it before and that thing can burn a little. So let's go and get that out of there. Are we set? Are we good to go? Let's go. So I'm gonna correct it a little bit because I have some red zones and I also have like dark spots under my eyes and in the corners of my mouth. So for the dark spots, I'm gonna go in with the MAC Pro Concealer and Correcting Palette, and I'm gonna use this pretty orange color right here. And I don't need that much. I just want to make sure that we are good to go, that none of this is peeking through. And I'll do a couple dabs under my eyes for brightener later on. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the NYX Color Correcting Palette. And this is in 3CP04, whatever that means. And I'm just gonna dab a little in this green to counterbalance that reddish zone right here in my nose, baby. And now we're gonna go ahead and buff that all out. I'm gonna use an e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. I think I bought this like 4 times. I love this brush. It's so universal. You can use it to buff, you can use it to do your eyes, you can, you know, use it for concealer, foundation, anything. It's nice and compact, but it's fluffy at the same time, but it's sturdy. So it gives like a good, you know, you're not like going in and the product is going all over the place. It's very concentrated. So this is my go-to brush for everything, whether I'm like, you know, if I'm baking or if I'm just like buffing in, this is it. And it's really cheap. I think it was like $3 or $4. So we're just gonna go in and start spreading the news. Blend that in. Next, I'm gonna go and carve out my brows using the MAC Pro Concealer palette in medium. And this palette has a lot of love on it, as you can see. So I usually go with this color right here, which is, I believe, NC35, I believe. And I use this for the lower part of my brows. And then later on, I'll go in with NW35 for the top of my brows, so I'm not looking like I have cartoon brows that are popping out with like highlight under and highlight on top. Ladies, please don't do that. That makes you look crazy. It's not cute. Your brows will be sharp, but it's not cute. So say no to the cartoon brows. Okay, so I'm gonna take some product, and what I like to use is a flat brush. So this brush I got off of a Naked palette, one of the Naked palettes. So I wouldn't necessarily use this flat brush to like put on eyeshadow because it's not very forgiving, but it works great when you're trying to conceal things. So let's conceal these brows, because this brow is acting like a stepchild. So what I like to do is actually go in head on first, like if I'm writing, to outline the bottom. And as I go to the end, I use the flat end and just swipe. Bam. Crispy. Then I'll bring it down. And then I'll use that e.l.f. Cosmetics brush and buff it in. So it kind of, if you don't have eyeshadow primer or anything like that, you can use your concealer as a base. That way the oils don't seep in and then you're like looking a hot mess an hour later. Then I'll take another flat brush, just a clean brush because it's a different color, and I'll go into the warmer color to do the top of my brow that's actually darker than the bottom part. And in this one, it's more like I use the flat end. So take it from the corner. And taking your time is key. You don't have to rush this. Then I connect it to that other line. So see, I guess we're working with something here. Get a little bit more. I want it a little crisper. Snap, crackle, pop, brows. You can take it a little close to the hairline, that way it can clean up any like product that you may have had there. And bam. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a brow.
Since today's look, it's very pigmented and I'm working with hues of purple and blue, it's safe to say that I am not going to do my face first because I don't need all that stuff falling on my face and then having to clean it up and then putting it back on, so it kind of just defeats the purpose. So today we're going to start with Huda Beauty's Desert Dusk palette. And we're going to start with the color Eden. Right here, this pretty color. And we're going to use that as a transition color to build up the purples and the blues so we don't look like we got two black eyes.
Dab in, tap off just a bit, and go in, find where your brow bone is. You want to go right under it. Since I have hooded eyes, I don't really have deep set, so I can't really tell where it is unless I'm like looking like this, like royalty, and I make believe like I have a brow bone, so I kind of just build it up. So I go from my brow bone. Don't go all the way up to your brow. You're gonna look like a clown, boo. Go under, right where you're, go like, if you could do this, take your pinky and do this. If you could stick your finger in there and feel that socket, that's where you want to be putting your transition color. So we're just gonna go ahead and make believe like Stephanie has a brow bone. I do, but it's not protruding and it's not obvious. And you're just gonna go in and buff it in, buff it in. Blending is key. Okay, so using that same brush, we're gonna go into the color Amethyst, which is this pretty little purpley pink here. So I'm creating what would appear like, kind of like an angle, like a wing, a little bit of a wing at the end. And we're just gonna continue to build this up. Focusing in on the bottom part of that transition so it can look a little bit more deeper. And then we're gonna take it into the corner, just about the corner, not all the way down. And the key is to try to stay away from your nose bones, because that's what's gonna make you look like pow. We're gonna go in and use this color right here called Delirious. Go into that inner, part right below the brow to define it just a little bit more and make it a little darker. So I'm using the brush that the palette came with because it has this cute little, I want to call it like tapered brush, and then on the other side it's a dual brush. On the other side it has something very similar to the NYX brush that I was just using, so we can diffuse it afterwards and it's not just like a straight up line. So I'm gonna go in, let's make believe I have some deep set eyes and define that puppy right there. All right, honey, that's what I'm talking about. Let's bring it out just a bit. So now we're looking like we got some eyes. Okay, we got some shape, we got some dimension going on here. So I'm gonna take the other side and just diffuse the ends a little bit so it's not so harsh. Because next we're gonna go into the middle part with the hues of blues. To make the blues pop, I'm gonna use MAC's Painterly just to give it some distinction as to where it starts. Right back into that Urban Decay palette, we're gonna go into this color right here called Minx, and it's a beautiful like cobalt blue, and you're gonna take a flat brush. This is a MAC. I don't even know what number it is because it just erased. I've had it for so long, but just get like a short flat brush that's good to pick up shadows. And I'm gonna go in, pick it up, as always, dust it off or tap it off. And we're gonna go right here in the center and start building it up. So you just want to kind of go into pat 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 motions, because right now it's very like splotchy because my brush is humid, what I like to call humid, so I can pick up more pigment and it'll be more pigmented as I put it in. If you can see, it's gonna start building up and you're gonna start seeing the color much better. Remember to blend the outside so it's not harsh. So holding a clean makeup wipe, take it taut right over your finger and create kind of like a Q-tip and clean up the line as so.
So now we gotta make these eyes pop with a liquid glitter liner from NYX in Crystal Pink. We're gonna apply this to the center of the lid.
And now take just a small tapered brush to buff it in. That way it's not all just concentrated and it's kind of like a gradual glow. Since it's pink, it's gonna pick up on those blues and purples, and it's kind of like a chameleon. It's gonna look like whatever the light is reflecting on. So it may look purple, it may look blue. I'm gonna apply mascara and the lashes off camera. But for mascara, I am using none other than Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And this is a little trial size that I picked up at Sephora because I was running out. Okay, so time out. I felt this needed a little bit more bling, so I'm gonna add this pretty little color called Twilight, the center of the lid. And now we're talking. Now we're talking. I'm using an NYX gel pencil to line the upper lid to blend the lashes. And right into the corner. I also use the same colors that we used in the top lid to blend out in the bottom and connecting it to that line that we created with the wipe. I'm also gonna add mascara to the bottom lashes just to give it a bit more definition.
And I'm gonna try not to blink for a whole minute. At least not blink a million times, so the mascara could dry.
For tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry it wasn't the whole face thing, but once I get, I guess, a laptop, because I literally film my videos on my phone, so I have to delete, I need space and all that stuff. So in order for me to do a whole face video, I need like a whole production team. How do you guys do it? Give me some tips below in the comments. I really hope you guys enjoyed this rendition of Demi Lovato's look on her Instagram. I'll post a pic next to my look. Again, thank you so much for your support. You guys have no idea how much it means to me. And as always, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Mia Dior, Snapchat Zaylee.d, Twitter Mia Dior. Hello. And as always remember to be cool, be fly, and be you. And I'll see you next time.